Hi everyone, how's it going? Yeah, trying to... So, for this video, what I wanted to explain in this video is I wanted to answer some questions. You see I have a lot of parts here in front of me, and I'm going to answer some questions of why there's so many parts here in front of me and all the mistakes and experiments that I've made, and hopefully you guys can learn from them. That's the purpose of this video. And another thing that happened recently since the last video is I think I've been thinking about this for a while. I think I got my first hater, which is like awesome. Like, because I was like, "Hey Max, how's it going?" So yeah, so I got the first person that actually publicly told me that they didn't like me, and I'm like, what is going on here? And that bothered me for a couple of hours, and then I said, "Hey Mark," and then I said, well, should I let that bother me for that long? That someone doesn't actually approve of me or approve of what I'm doing. And I'm like, should I let that bother me? And I'm like, after a couple of hours of contemplating that, I was like, no, I think that's a cause for celebration, because it shakes things up that would not have normally happened for me. And me going out like this on a limb and doing something would not have normally happened for me. And obviously I'll get people that don't like what I'm saying or don't like what I'm doing, and that's okay. That's okay. Still gonna keep doing what I'm doing and providing value, because that's what I like to do. Anyways, so going back to the subject of why there's so many parts here. So I got this part I showed last time, which was the mold for the propeller hub. And this is an aluminum version of it. And I showed in the last video the steel version of it. And the reason why I'm making, hey Mohammed, the reason why I'm making so many parts is because I'm experimenting. This was one of the big mistakes that I've made, that I'd actually like to nobody else to fall into this mistake. Hey buddy. Nobody else to fall in this mistake if they can avoid it. What I got tunnel vision. And so this is a propeller hub, this is a propeller hub. These steel parts are also propeller hubs, as you can see here. So quite intricate designs. I've made these all from scratch. Like, I've actually programmed this all from scratch. So you can see this is like a 3-part, and there's a cover for it, which is right here. And what happened was I got a little bit of hyper focus. So I got so hyper focused in terms of how do I reduce the weight. This is actually carbon fiber. What is it called? The rope. It's like braided carbon fiber over polyurethane foam core. And the idea was to put it in here in this hub, cover it like that, and then the propeller would attach to here. So that was the idea. And of course carbon fiber is super strong and stuff, so I was testing some new materials. So after all this, like while doing all these experiments and going into such a tunnel vision, hey Case, how's it going? After doing all this and going into such a tunnel vision, what I realized is this was all avoidable, because all I needed was for the propeller hub to just do one function, which is hold the propellers and not break. So after spending like 3 months and learning how to do CNC machining and stuff like that, I went with a very simple design, which was just a flat plate. Hey Naveed, which was just a flat plate with propeller stuck to it. That's all I ended up doing. That was my final design. I learned a lot from this, but it was really unnecessary, and especially when going into prototyping and just to prove a concept. It's not very important, and if you guys have questions, just throw them out. Tell them in the comments or whatever you guys want me to answer. It doesn't really matter to get it perfect the first time. A lot of inventors and a lot of entrepreneurs think that the first time they do something, it will work, and that's not the case. for me. I realized that that was really not the case for me. Hey Ahmed. And I thought I was like super smart and it would just come out of my hands and it would start working. It didn't. So yeah, I know I've been kind of rambling along for a bit, but if there's anything that you can take away from this video, is that the simplest solution works. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the simplest, easiest solution is the one that works. And then when you got like a small MVP or minimum viable product that works, then iterate on it. There was no reason for me to do it in aluminum or steel or carbon fiber or fiberglass for that matter. There was no reason for that. So that's it. I hope that was useful to you. Thanks for joining in.